How did they know I was coming?
I don't believe everything you read.
No.
My name is Marty Jones. I'm from Manchester, New Hampshire. You know that I'm the current president, soon to be outgoing president.
Hi, I'm John Docker, the show manager. We have a Photographica show. It's a 72nd Photographica show. And it's coming up October 24th and 25th of October, this month. We have 60 tables sold. A full house is 70. We will have 70 tables sold, so we will have a full house. We're doing a lot of mailing to the antique community this time. And one of our former dealers saw our forms at the Cambridge Antique Association Center, and he called me and said, gee, I'd like to be a dealer again.
I'm Lou Riegelman. We are going to have an auction at 6 o'clock. We hope there'll be dealers bidding on lots of stuff. We have some very, very nice cameras, lots of intermediary 35mm 1940s and 50s cameras. And today we just found out that one of our deceased members' families wants to give us perhaps some Leica equipment to sell as well during the auction. So we hope to find out more about that by Friday. And if some of these mailings get to the right people and enough people show up, it should be a lively auction. So please come.
This year, we decided to try digital. And digital costs about 50% less. So we have our journal. This is a proof, right? We found a few little problems that, you know, some of the pictures are probably a little darker than we wanted them to be. So we're going to fix that. And hopefully by the end of next week, we'll have it in the mail. It'll be done.
Yeah.
So
we have a couple of authors here today. One is Russ Carter did a wonderful piece on World War II, entitled World War II Navy Photographer.
I've heard this all before, but you're going to hear it again. It's not going to be here. It's going to be at the Fitchburg Art Museum. Again, your PHSNE membership will get you admission to the museum. We're paying your way in. Just bring your copy of snapshots with you to prove to the person at the desk you're a PHSNE member. If you forget that, driver's license, we'll have the membership listed there anyway. The meetings, our PHSNE meeting will start at 1:30. It'll be somewhere in the museum. We won't have a business meeting part of it. We'll show and tell.
Show and tell time in the usual manner. We begin on the left. Anybody on this side? Dan good.
About 15 years ago, I spent a happy day at the University of Texas in Austin, going through a fabulous collection of panoramic photographs. And they've gotten around to publishing the best of these in a marvelous book. Ruth Tomasin was the first person who sent away for this book.
And he did Harvard University, a lot of Harvard stuff, and Boston area stuff.
Anybody else on this side? No? Okay. How about in the middle here? Do we have somebody to show and tell in the middle section? Nobody? Yes. We have one person. Jack. Jack Dillon.
I'm not going right there.
Oh, you.
I moved these books.
Is that your lunch? What's that?
No paper bag?
An English camera does open.
Hold on a second. There we go. It's beautiful. I think it's made out of a tiger maple. It's a gorgeous camera inside. 1886. Set this down. And then when you want to shoot, you
Cool.
shut it.
Kodak film pack. It's 9 by 12 centimeter. It's number 541, emulsion number 18,372. The expiration date is a good thing. It's only 85 years ago, October 1st, 1924.
I do 3D, and it was brought to my attention that some dealer had on his table, a camera, and they thought it was a 3D plastic camera. This was several years ago. And I dug it out to share it with you because when I dug it out to look at it, it wasn't a 3D camera at all. It was a binocular camera with a cassette. So the good old, with the help of Ruth, got on the internet and looked up binocular. And it was made in 1950 by a Japanese company. They had cassettes made for it. Agfa made cassettes for it, as well as the Japanese film.
Bloody blue blazes does a model airplane have to do with PHSNE? Well, what it has to do with PHSNE, folks, is this isn't just your ordinary model airplane. This model airplane has a built-in camera. And the camera is radio controlled so that when one reaches underneath here and energizes the receiver, and then one reaches over here and energizes his transmitter, and one has the aircraft flying around in little circles, and you press the button and listen. It uses a Kodak disposable type camera. I assume from that this probably dates back to somewhere in the late 80s or the early 90s.
But anyway, here's what I really came for. About a week ago, I was at Bryce Canyon, and on the map I saw a little spot called Kodachrome Basin. I said, Kodachrome Basin, I gotta go to Kodachrome Basin. So this is what I got. So it says Kodachrome Basin, Utah State Park. It's a beautiful camping park. It's not a fabulous place like Bryce Canyon, but it's very pretty to see. It's got a lot of unusual, I think they call them hoodoos or something like that. These are like stone things that are sticking up. So when you're camped in your camper, you turn around and these mythical looking figures all around you. They're just coming up out of the ground, and they're really kind of interesting.
This came out recently. It's a gallery book for the National Gallery of Art in Washington. And it basically is so much better because it's got 6 essays from the curators in here. It's also got all the working notes he had, including the contact sheets and the images. This book is available now. It's about 8 or 9 pounds. And it's about 50 or 60 bucks depending on where you buy it. I highly recommend it.
So we're fortunate today to have Professor Pat Fanning, who has published a wonderful book on Fred Hollanday, and she'll tell us a lot more that we didn't write at the Fred Hollanday House.
Do you want the microphone
Yeah,
or no?
Adrian, so project, yeah.
I wasn't sure how many of you were familiar with F. Hollanday, so I've decided to begin with an overview of his life and work, and with a lot of pictures. And then I would like to focus for a few minutes at the end on something I thought would be of particular interest to this group, which is Day's own account of the history of the Smith lens, which he's often been associated with. So let me begin with a few photographs of Day in his prime. This was by Reginald Craigie. This was by Clarence White. This was by Frederick Evans, British photographer. And this was by Edward Steichen. And they were all taken around the 1895 to 1901 time period. And then there's Fred at the start. Fred Hollanday was born in 1864 and was the only child of Louis and Anna Smith Day, both lifelong residents of South Dedham. Louis could trace his family line back to Ralph Day, one of the earliest Dedham settlers. Anna was the only daughter of South Dedham native and tannery owner Lyman Smith. The couple were married in 1859 and rapidly became one of the wealthiest and most admired families in the community. History came to life for Fred when at 7 years of age he witnessed the separation of South Dedham from its mother town and its incorporation as Norwood.
Yes.
On behalf of the Photographic Historical Society, we wish to present you this for being here today.
Thank you.